Would you believe me if I said I would get a pair of factory new gloves entirely for free? And not just any glove, but the brand new Ultraviolence from the Dead Hand collection. Well, today we're embarking on a journey, starting with the items I got in just one weekly drop, this Dreams and Nightmares case and Minway Galil Robin's egg worth $1.42. We are going to trade up until we get a pair of factory new gloves. And for this series, I'll explain every step of the way so you can see exactly how I do it. This video's sponsor, SkinSwap, is giving you a skin worth up to $50 entirely for free whenever you do your first trade and use my referral code. If you want to refresh your loadout, you can trade your skins for brand new ones in just a couple of seconds. Plus, their market tab now integrates cheap listings from Chinese sites so you can access the best prices without the need for a Chinese ID or bank account. They accept deposits via crypto, MasterCard, and Visa. If you want to cash out, SkinSwap makes that simple too with instant sell options to PayPal or crypto. On top of that, they run free daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways with the chance to earn extra entries simply by trading. Use the link below for a 3% lifetime sales bonus and a free skin worth up to $50. Big thanks to SkinSwap for supporting the channel. To get started, I had to find a trade up under $1.42. In the past, I've used cheap fillers from some of last year's collections like Ascent, so I decided to start there. The Rose Naka Jewel Berettas in field tested are going for just 4 cents. If I use about 7 of those, I'll be able to fill the last few slots with slightly more expensive skins from a different collection and give us a 30% shot at something good. I first tried the new Harlequin collection, as recently released skins often have some decent opportunities, but the field tested options didn't work out too well. I then tried the Sport and Field and 2021 Dust 2, before realizing I was way out of budget. But then I stumbled upon Anubis, and with several options giving us over $1 of potential profit, it was time to see which inputs I could find. Selecting filters on CS Float, I needed 0.3 or lower field tested Ascent Industrials under 5 cents, and there were actually quite a few options. So I put those values into the calculator and then found some USPS skins at 35 cents to finish off the contract. We ended with a trade up costing $1.40 with a 30% chance to profit, and it was time to roll. Anubis collection. Oh, copper coated. All right. We were off to a flying start. Now I decided to visit one of my favorite sites for finding profitable combinations, TradeUp Lab. You can filter for cost, and then we need to find something ideally that has a couple of high profit outcomes, but also has favorable chances, so not to risk all the money we just gained. Also, I am factoring sales fees into the calculations, so keep that in mind. When you find a contract you like the look of, simply hit copy to skin search, and you can confirm the values based on current market prices, since prices may have changed since the contract was published. You can see a couple I tried first, but they were no longer viable. Then I found this contract, which originally used one Chroma Collection skin to give us the chance at some more expensive outcomes, but it pushed us slightly over budget, so I decided to swap out the XM for another Danger Zone skin. I tried a couple of options, but it seemed the SG was indeed the cheapest, so I went back to CS Float to see what the options were, and was able to find enough skins at the required floats. This is the contract we ended up with, 60% chance to profit with the flashback being the best outcome. Let's get it. Galil Signal, we will take that. Now it's a matter of repeating that process, looking for potential options at the new price point on TradeUp Lab, copying it into Skin Search to trial floats and confirm it's still viable, and then seeing which skins are actually available to buy. For this contract, there weren't enough XM skins on CS Float at an appropriate price, so I went on to SkinSwap and then also CS Money to see more options. After picking everything up, the contract cost us $3.59, and we had a solid 70% chance to profit. The whiteout would double our money, but any of the Train Collection skins would still be in the green. As you can see, the floats here have actually changed quite a bit from the original contract proposed by TradeUp Lab, but that's simply based on the actual skins I could find. We want to see that Train Collection in 3, 2, 1. Boom! Nice! It's not the whiteout, but that's fine. Now I want to quickly mention that for this challenge I did not wait out the 7-day hold for each trade up, which would drastically increase the time frame. Also, please remember that trade ups are all about expected value, and even with a positive EV, nothing is guaranteed. For the next trade up, I was actually just playing around with combinations myself, using skins from the Achroma and Harlequin collections. I was almost sure I could find something that worked here, as the newer skins often take a year to hit their stable long-term prices. In the end, I decided to just use 10 field-tested Achroma skins. This is exactly the kind of contract I like at this stage of the challenge. easy to find floats, so very repeatable. It's a 50-50 outcome, but the loss is less than $1, which means we'd be able to rebuy inputs for the trade up a couple of times even if we hit the Glock. Then we have a nearly $2.50 gain on a $5 contract if we hit the AK. So I think I'm just going to smash this one out a couple of times and hopefully get our balance up a bit. Ah. Yes! Nice! A third AK. I think we've passed the $10 mark now. Alright, this is another setup I found on TradeUp We've got 3 0.25 SG Triarchs alongside 7 0.42 Mac-10 Catfights from the Genesis collection. I was able to pick up these 3 around the $1.10 mark, slightly higher floats, but they actually still work out fine for the calculation. So next to pick up some of the Mac-10s. As you can see, I'm swapping between a couple of sites and inputting the actual prices into the calculator based on skin swap listings, which were the cheapest in this case. In the end, this trade up cost a total of $8.55. We've got a 77% chance to profit, and even the worst outcome, the Glock, is only a 50-cent loss. Anything but the Glock. Let's go. Orb. Excellent. We will absolutely take that. Now actually, as the Triarchs were the most expensive skin in this contract and the hardest to find, I was wondering if I could simply take them out and fill all 10 slots with Genesis skins, of which there was no shortage of listings. So that's exactly what I did. I had to include 4 skins with an average float of 0.3 to balance out the well-worn inputs, but it seemed like this contract could be even better. Plus, since all of the Genesis skins share the same 0 to 1 float range, I wasn't confined to just using Mac-10s, but could also look at listings for the other restricted skins. To my surprise, there were quite a few cheap Genesis restricted skins under 0.32, even a Nova Ocular at 0.19 float for just 92 cents. That would mean I could actually include some higher float Battle-Scarred skins as well, and bring the overall cost down even more. After some back and forth, I got the contract down to $7.58, and actually now all outputs would be profit, including the Glock. We go again. Let's see that AWP. MP7. Nice. If you've made it this far in the video, I've got something for you. This month, I'm giving away the brand new AWP Queen's Gambit in Field Tested to one of you. To enter, just like the video and leave a comment including the word Queen. The winner will be chosen on the 31st. Good luck. And I actually just decided to run the exact same trade up again. As you can see, this time with a couple more Julies and cap fights. Let's see what we get. Oh, Glock. Definitely not the best, but it's still a small profit. And with that, folks, we have passed the $15 threshold. From $1 to $15, that's not a bad start at all. If you want to see the next stage of this journey, be sure to subscribe and check out this video next where I traded up from nothing to a butterfly knife. Thanks so much for watching and take care.